Welcome to my classroom. Here's the view from the front door. So as you can see right next to the door, we've got the American flag, the clock, a Judy clock, and a time timer. Time timer is really great to help students have a visual representation of how much time they have left to finish their assignments. I highly recommend getting one if you don't have one already. Below that, we've got a few essentials. So here we have my flashcard bin. So inside there I have some famous scientist cards. I have the basic flashcards from the Dollar Tree and a book of oral language exercises. So that just is great for teaching grammar. I also have a bin of buzzers and other things. I never put batteries in the buzzers. And then right below it, I've got some STEM materials. And all those bins are from the Dollar Tree, and they have held up pretty good. I've had them for about 3 or 4 years. Moving on to this side of the room, to the other side of the door, I've got this black cabinet that is pretty standard for my school. On the top, I've got some cleaning supplies. Below that, I've got these ICANN centers that I can link below. I got this resource from TPT, and it takes us through all of the 4th grade standards for math, and we use that quite a bit when we're reviewing for FSA. Right below that, I've got some manipulatives, some connects, some Legos, some chalkboards and chalk. Under that, with the magazine bins, I've got some extra crafting material, like pipe cleaners and markers, and under that I've got our supply of paper. Turning the corner to this side of the room, I have the rest of my STEM center over here. So here's just the bulletin board for STEM, and right under that you'll see that I have all of these STEM task cards. I was able to get all of these for free actually just by searching for them on Pinterest, and it gives them ideas of things they can do with materials that are in the STEM center. Below that, I've got 2 bins worth of snap circuits. These are a lot of fun, and some money rollers. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I got them from Dollar Tree, and the kids love to use them. And then I have some random craft material under that. They're not really labeled very well, but then I have a lot of pom-poms in every color, paint, and a marble run called Cuba Maze. Here I just have a workstation for them to build things on. They have a Lego project that they're working on there and other materials. And underneath, just some extra workbooks that we never use. Here we have my desk area, which is never this clean. Might look messy to you, but it's never this organized. There's always papers and everything on top. There's my rubber band ball that I've been working on for a few years. Very proud of that. And my little Funko Pop and just all of the little pens that I use during the day. Behind my desk, I've got this great window with these directed drawings that we did for Halloween. And here all my class pictures and my team pictures and pictures of my family. And moving on to this side, I have a bunch of little notes kids have made me and little drawings. Right above that, I've got my World's Best Teacher Award and my Teacher of the Year Award. Pretty proud of that. Over here on this wall, I have a lot of things that we just have been working on. We do a lot of drawing in my class, so we noticed throughout the year. So a lot of directed drawings. Here I've got Henry Flagler, and on the other side we have Julia Tuttle, because we learn a lot about Florida history throughout the year. And in the middle, learning about Reconstruction and the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment. And below that, I have some resource books that are just fun for the kids to have to flip through. Just about random topics. And on this side, we've got some displays for grammar and for the presidents. Moving on to the front of the classroom, this is the view from the front, and here you can see how I have my desk laid out. I'm going to show you how I do my name tags. So instead of sticking them on the top of the desk, I actually put them on the front with magnets, and that way they can refer to them as needed, but they don't get all nasty with glue, and they tend to last the entire year. Over here, I have a classroom constitution that we made. It was part of our curriculum. So we made that at the beginning of the year, and right next to that I have my Greek and Latin roots. We just add to that as we encounter them throughout the year, and it helps them a lot with reading comprehension and vocabulary. Next to that, I have my spelling words, and I just have that on a chalkboard with chalk markers. I change that every week, and I clean it with vinegar. And next to that, I have my data station. On the top, I have Handelscade. We learned about that during the beginning of the year when we were learning about Curacao. Below that, I have my little cart. It's just full of, again, random things like expo markers. I have these on the bottom. This was actually part of a piece of furniture that fell apart, but they use that when they're doing independent work and they want to sit on the floor. I have some comic books, some math manipulatives like scales and little cubes that go with it, and little weights. I have a dartboard from Star Wars, because why not? This is the view if you are facing the front of the classroom, so you can see there's my smartboard. Above that, I've got my alphabet, a couple of signs. Right down there is my recess basket, and so we take that to recess whenever we go, so we have things to play with. Over here, I've got my DI groups. Above that, chalkboard calendar, got that from Target. Above that are my standards for the week that I'm not very good about changing out all the time. And then my 3 simple rules. I think it's best to have very few rules and that cover a lot of things. So it's just respect each other, be quick to obey, things like that. Over here on this side of the room, this is where I put their independent work, so things that they have to finish for the day, and things that they must do before they can move on to their options. Here I've got a little turn-in bin, and there I've got Kerplunk. It always falls apart, but the kids seem to have a good time with it. Below that, I've got our little classroom library. So I've got little books, chapter books, graphic novels, things like that, separated into different categories. And then below that, I've got some games. There I've got this basket. Here is these little ice cream trucks. They get it if they win a game or they do something particularly well. They can put that on their desk, and at the end of the day, they can see if they got enough of them. The back wall, this is my writing center, and on the wall behind it, you'll see Ninja Fact Masters. And so that is a variation that I took on the Ninja Fact Masters, and I just turned them into little Jedi. Here I've just got some paper, white paper, lined paper, sketchbooks, things that they can use to write or draw in. Above that, I've got a wall of just math charts, things that they can reference. And next to that, I have some famous scientists. These are from Classical Conversations, and the kids really enjoy just interacting with them and learning about them. There's a little bit of a close-up on the fact masters that has to do with multiplication and division mastery, and below that is where I just keep all of my copies of the tests that they take every week. Below that, I have just a little supply shelf with a couple of books, Magnetab, and of course my sharpener and pencils. And yeah, here's the rest of the room. I hope you enjoyed my classroom tour. I hope it gave you a little bit of inspiration going into the next school year. Subscribe if you haven't for more videos. Thanks.